Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer and today I'm gamesplaining Quirky Circuits. So the game of Quirky Circuits is set up in this book. I won't turn this page because there's a whole bunch of pieces on it, but there's a whole bunch of pages there. Each page is a different scenario and each different scenario has a different guy who has a different deck of cards. There are 4 potential guys that can be used, so 4 different potential decks of cards. I will just deal today with the cat Gizmo because that's the first one you're going to come across. It's open up on the first scenario in the book. So this is absolutely the first thing you would play in the game, and it would get a lot more intricate than this as you go into the game further, but let's just deal with this because this is really the starting point for everyone. The basic premise of the game is that you're trying to get your guy to fulfill a certain condition, which is written just here. That will be different for each of them. For this particular game, this guy needs to sweep up all of the dust bunnies and get back to this spot. Each of the robots has a slightly different way they interact, and especially they have a slight different way they interact with hitting an edge. So Gizmo, whenever he would run into an edge, so that's the yellow or the white, he will stop whatever he was doing. He just stops. So if he's moving forward 3, he's still going to stop where he is, and he rotates to his left. Now this is a sticking point that you need to be aware of, that all directions are according to which way he is facing, not the direction that you are facing. And so having players at the table who are able to actually shift their thoughts is a worthwhile thing, and it can get quite tricky for people who are not able to shift their lefts and rights depending on where that guy's facing. The other thing to be aware of is the number of cards you have. So if you're playing a 3 or 4 player game, each player would only get 4 cards. If you're playing a 2-player game, everyone gets 5 cards. And the way the game actually plays is you're not allowed to talk as you're playing. In terms of talk about the game, you could by all means have a discussion about the weather or whatever, as long as it's not about the game and what cards you're playing and what cards you think someone else should play. It's 100% up to each person what cards they play. Every player must play at least 1 card, and the lineup of cards played would need to be at least 5 cards out. Once everyone has decided they've played enough cards, they don't want to play anymore, so everyone's played at least 1. They could play their whole hand if they wished, but once that's happened, we then stop. There are things in the rules to say how to indicate to everyone else that you're finished. It's usually just put your cards down because I'm done, but we can go from there. Then what happens is each card would get flipped over. So this card means that Gizmo is moving backwards 1. So from where he is, he should go that way, but because he can't, he would turn to his left. This one indicates that Gizmo would go forward 3 spots. Because he can't go any further forward, he has eaten that dust bunny, but because he can't go any further forward, he would turn to his left. This one indicates that he'll go forward 2 times. Once again, he can't move any further forward, so he turns to his left. This one indicates going forward 1. This one indicates a full turnaround. The other cards that are there and possible to play is that one where he turns 1 to his right, or that one which he turns 1 to his left. The backs of these cards, notice they'll have forward back, but they don't tell you how far forward or how far back the cat's going. And these ones are turn cards on the backs of the cards. So you can kind of get an idea of what has been recommended or what has been played, but you don't have exact idea of what has been played. Once he's done all those movements, those cards are pulled back in, shuffled up and put onto the bottom of the pile. The pile is then redealt, so everyone comes up to their number of cards in hand, either 5 or 4, depending on how many players there are. The game continues in this scenario until all of these dust bunnies have been collected and the cat gets back to his spot, or this gets down to the 0. So after that first turn, that would have been brought down 1, and everyone reshuffles and redeals and then has to go again. That is pretty much the game. There is obviously a lot more going on with the future scenarios, but for the purposes of what we're doing, that's the game. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you would like to be gamesplained, please shoot an email to thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the Gamesplainer to keep up to date with the games I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.